Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight I thought I'd try to put the rear window into the 55 Chevy. And so a few days ago I got an early start. I thought by putting on the rubber around the window's all cleaned up and polished and all nice and smooth and looks good. Well, so I thought I'd just dry fit the window in to see if this, the rubber gasket was, okay, gonna fit or not. And if I have enough clips on to hold on the molding. So after looking at what I did, how I thought I was ahead of the game a little bit, I kind of screwed up. Let me show you what I mean. So this molding, and probably hundreds of you guys probably know this already, and I should have known myself because I put plenty of windows in other cars. Well, so this is the inside of the window, outside, and this lip is where the rope goes in, and we do, wet it, put a little bit of soap on it so it's lubricated, and then when it's set in place, pull the rope, and that's typically done from the inside. So I looked at this, I thought, that doesn't look quite right. How in the world is this? How can a 55 Chevy be any different than any other, typical molding and old car? And you can see it clips the lip wear, this wall where the lip of the rubber kind of should pop out around. Well, actually go this way, outside to inside. Lay it in here. It should fold over by pulling the rope, and that through the rope line it will, pop itself on the inside of the car. Well, you probably saw it already looking at this molding. I put this molding on backwards. So this lip where the rope goes into should be on towards the inside of the window on this edge, but it's not. And this stuff was kind of a bear to get on. It is for one person with two hands. You need about 7 hands to get this thing on. So it looks like I'm gonna be pulling this rubber off the window and putting it on the correct way. So we'll see. Okay, so I took the molding off, flipped it around, and so I'm in the process of putting it back on. The nice part is that it was already stretched out, and so I didn't have to fight it too much. Actually, it went on really pretty easy. Ate a little bit of soapy water to help lubricate it, to get it back in. And so just slide it in place. Like so. It's going on really, actually pretty easy. When it came out of the package, the bag, it was shrunk, and so after, I guess it's been 2 or 3 weeks that I've had put it on, it had enough time to stretch out and relax. So let me show you again the way it's supposed to be. Have the inside and then the outside of the window. And this little lip is where the rope's got to go in. So let me get part of that in and I'll come back to you. Okay, so there's plenty of videos online that have the technique of using rope and using it to put in windshields and rear windows. It is the same kind of technique. I wet the rope just a little bit, just to get it lubricated a little bit. And spray around where we gotta slip it into the lip. So this is the top of the window where at this corner is where a stud's going to go through. So you want to make sure that you begin on the bottom of the window. So the two ends are going to be, at the bottom middle part. So just simply insert it like so. Pretty straightforward. It's easier sometimes with a little, little stud, piece of wood, but because it's wet and has some soap on it, it goes in pretty easy by your finger. Here. Don't mean to bore you with this, but it's kind of cool. There are some guys that like to use, instead of using a rope, they use like a dull pick, and it basically they get behind the lip and lift it up through, and then just, while the window's laying on the car and in place, they just kind of go by there with the dull end of the pick. Okay, so here, it's ready to be laid into place on the car. So let me show you what I've done. Hopefully you can see. So I added a couple more clips. This is a standard clip, standard. So this is an extra standard. So they're spaced along. I had to use some brand new ones, and some of the existing ones were just fine. So it's pretty much ready to go. All right. I might need to get my wife to help me hold it in place, so I'll be back. Well, different day. Ran out of time last night, and my wife wasn't available to give me a hand. So we'll see how things go today. I've got the window prepped, ready to go, and let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to try to attempt doing this by myself and see how it goes. So I've got the window set up over here on the stand, and I hope I don't crack this window, but it's not that heavy. I'm not sure what happened. Somehow my camera shut down. Anyway, got the window in place. Not with the, not fully in place, but it's in the general vicinity. It's close. Got the ropes tied up a little bit so they didn't get caught on the outside. Things are looking pretty good. Lined up close enough, and I will have to get some help to start to pull in on the rope, pull as the lip, go all the way around the whole perimeter, and at the same time keeping pressure, kind of tapping it in place. So I'll be back in a sec. So from the inside, here's the rope, and I hope you can see this, that this little lip making over the edge. It's slowly pull it, just take your time. I'll do the other side. It's coming real easy. Now I'll have to go out and tap on the window to kind of nudge it down. All right, that's about as far as I can go right now without some help. All right, little change of plan. I'm going to try doing this myself. And so I pulled some of the rope. Let me take my ring off, my wedding ring, because if you smack that and crack the window, I'll be a little upset. All right, so no rings. Inside it looks pretty good. Switch sides. Sometimes a rope hangs up on these trim clips. So, this job is doable with one person, but a lot easier with two people. Looking good so far. Bottom's in nicely, but it's a little tougher on these vertical, on the C-pillar. All right, so you guys got a general idea. Let me finish doing this and... Okay, so we're almost finished with a bolt rope. The toughest spot so far has been these corners in the top. Getting the rope around that corner was difficult, so kind of had to get it, kind of just work it around. This one I got stuck, so went to the other side, and luckily I got that off. But if you pull too hard, you're going to be ripping the rubber, and that's not good. So that's an area where we're going to have leaks. It's prone to leaks, and so you want to make sure that that's a good seal there. Everything else looks pretty decent. So let me just finish this off here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. If I can hold camera and this light. We'll see how it goes. The other problem is, because I didn't do this last night, this rope was not fully saturated and wet enough, so it's not as slippery as it should be. I squirted some water on it, but just not enough, and so it's there's just more friction there, but it's coming along. All right, so we're almost out of the woods with this window. I just want to make sure I can get this corner. And let me do some more tapping. Okay, got the rope all done. It's a matter of just going around, slap it in place, make sure it's seated and has good seal. And the next thing is going to be to drill a small hole here and get a bolt through on each top corner so that it kind of helps from, you know, eliminate peeling back. It is a pretty tight seal, and it's a thick rubber weather stripping, so I think it's going to stay in place pretty well. All right, that's about it for now. I'll check back with you in a second. Okay, time for the scary part. I've got to drill the holes for the top corners of the window and pray that I don't hit the glass. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to use a 3/16 machine screw, 1.5 inch with a lock washer, lock nut. And I don't think the lock nut's gonna be a problem clearing when the garnish molding goes on top. And if it is, I'll just have to do a little grinding. And I'm gonna use that's number 8 hardware. And I'm gonna use a 3/16 inch drill. And so I kinda got that lined up. The hole is far enough away from that glass. You can see that. So it's going to catch a little bit of the rubber on the inside, but I think the majority is going to be caught on the outside. So let's see what happens here. I don't know if I can hold the camera and do this very well. Let me try this and I'll get back. Okay, we got screws in each top corner and everything is in place. I think this is a success. One person can do this job, just takes a little bit longer and you just have to be careful. So I ended up putting these stainless steel screws in, number 8 machine screws, 1.5 inch, and they look like they should work just fine. And everything's sealed. Next step will be to put on trim molding. There's I'll make a video of that, but there's also a really good guy, Half Rods, that he's been doing tri-5s for a long time, and he knows what he's talking about. And he's got a beautiful 55 Chevy that he's working on. And I think he's in Oklahoma. I don't know exactly where. But yeah, he's a good source for 55 specific types of things. The next thing I'm going to be doing is putting in side glass and probably the windshield. I think it should be okay. It's not going to be in the way of anything else that I've got to do to the car. I bought new glass. Well, let me back up. The windshield and the back window are still the original. So there's some areas where I believe I couldn't really get it cleaned up well enough, but I think that the trim molding is going to cover that. I'm not really concerned about that. And same with the windshield. But the side glass, I bought all brand new, and it's from Auto City Classics, and they're fantastic. Their glass prices are excellent, fast shipping, good quality. So that'll be the next step. But for this video, I think that's it. It's a wrap, and I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate that very much. Before I go, I just want to show you some of my video equipment, which is very minimal. There's my spotlight. I got a tripod back from the days of 35mm film cameras. And I've got this little handheld guy, which kind of wraps around here to set up. So that's about it. Appreciate you watching. Thanks again. See you later.